Pitt is on the cover of GQ this month, where he says that he reassessed his entire life after his marriage to Angelina Jolie fell apart. Realized a lot of the problems were his fault, that he'd been, you know, boozing every day since college, doing all kinds of stuff, and it was time for him to grow up. So is this something that everybody goes through?
Yeah.
Don't all answer me at once.
You know, the thing that he said that I thought was interesting that I could understand because I'm divorced myself is that he said that he took the blame for what happened. And I have said this from the day I got divorced. I started to keep a diary and write down what I did wrong. I did wrong. I did wrong. And because I did that, I was able to get over it more easily. And I'm just saying that to people who are in this situation because it is probably one of the worst times in your life when you get divorced. You feel so abandoned. And even if you want the divorce, you still feel alone in the world. And if you say, I did this wrong, and you believe it, you know it, what you did, because it's a two-way street, you won't make the same mistakes again, is my philosophy of it. You let it go because you've accepted you're a part. And if you don't do that, you never get over it.
Everyone has, to me. You know, everyone has a commentary on his life all the time. And one thing that I found interesting, they asked him a question, but do you worry about the narrative others have written for you? And he gave, you know, a few lines of an answer, but the last two lines say, I know the people who love me know me, and that's enough for me. And I love that, but that's that's a hard place to get to. I don't know if I'm at that place yet, because everyone has an opinion. When you're in the public eye, obviously, you know, I'm nowhere near Brad Pitt, but no matter what your role is in the public eye, it's hard to come to terms with the fact that if you have to be okay with who you are, and the people you love are okay with who you are, and then you're at peace. It's hard, though. And for him to say that he's gotten to that place tells me that in his life, he's gotten to probably a really healthy place in a lot of other areas, and that's a good thing to see. I'm a big fan of his, and I love that.
It's fascinating that for a long time, we were very much taken and believed that Brangelina was like this perfect couple.
I was very into it.
I was.
You never know. Don't believe anything
Well,
you say.
because I'm in that culture.
Right.
You know, and so I've been part of that culture, and so you always know that because it looks good on the outside, you never know what's going on in somebody's house. You never know, and people write about it like they're part of it. And that's what people get. That's what people forget, that a lot of the stories that you've read are projections of what people think are going on, but they're not hanging out.
Because it's like, when you looked at them, you know, they adopted these children together from all over the world, and they were traveling everywhere. They opened up that fabulous vineyard with the Miraval Rosé. Has anybody had that? It's fantastic. and so I was just watching
This is your child. This is your child.
My father's in the audience today.
Is that
but, you know, it looked like a fairy tale. It looked like two people who found each other who were very similar, and they were traveling the world with their family. And how many people don't want to do that? Because when you're going to work, but you're leaving your children behind, it's very difficult. So I just thought they had it all figured out.
Is it supposed to be really difficult?
Well, they were going to also make the world better. That was their goal together.
Well, they
it's like the United Nations.
They did do that. They did those things. But what goes on in a relationship every hour, every day, you know, it's like everybody else. You left your stuff all over the way. You stunk up the bathroom. Why aren't you talking to the kids? It's all the same stuff that you're both, you know, and once you realize that, it makes it easier to pass those those papers in the supermarket by. Because you think, oh, you know, he didn't put the toilet seat down either.